A shot, one single shot to the chest. Washington allegedly stood over her and said, "Why did you make me do that?"
Yo, what it do? It's your boy Buck Briggs, Mr. No Slacking himself. No slacking involved. That shit is bad for your health. You know the vibes, man. Tap on in, man. Yo, check it out. Got something dope for y'all today, man. So I guess after this girl was begging for the release of her man from jail, you know what I'm saying? He killed her and shit. At the damn barbecue. At the brother's barbecue at that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. It's just crazy. Let's tap into this, man. You know what I'm saying? See what's really good. You know, time is money, and we can't get a dollar back.
All right, come on, son. All right. You ready, babe?
31-year-old Breanna Howell wasn't just bold, she was
Indiana?
unapologetically unforgettable. The type of woman who lived out loud, loved hard, and didn't bite her tongue for nobody. She had jokes, she had style, she had heart, and depending on the day, she also had hands. That energy wasn't for everyone, but it was real. You knew what you were getting with Breanna, and if you didn't, she'd make sure you found out.
Okay.
Unfortunately, she met her match in Joaquin Washington, a 24-year-old habitual hellraiser with more mugshots than achievements. They weren't oil and water. They were fire and gasoline.
Check it out.
From the very beginning, it was chaos. Fights in the street, fights online, and fights behind closed doors. But the biggest fight, that was Breanna versus her own hope. Because despite the red flags slapping her in the face, she stood 10 toes behind him, proudly posting, "Free my man," while he sat behind bars. Well, she got her wish. He came home, and they fell apart. Fast.
Willing to bet him coming home and acting crazy had something to do with him thinking she was cheating or some weird shit. He was get out of jail and they be tripping.
What followed was a nonstop battlefield of insults, threats, and drama that played out both online and in real life. By March 2025, Howell and Washington weren't just exes, they were chaos incarnate. Everyone knew it. So when they both popped up at the same mutual friend's barbecue, it wasn't a reunion, it was a time bomb. The yelling started, then the shoving, then the threats. And before anyone could grab a plate or catch their breath, guns were pulled. By the end of the night, Breanna lay dead. 2 people vanished, and a house party meant for burgers and beer had become a murder scene. The same woman who once screamed, "Free my man," would end up freed from life itself because of him. Welcome to the American Crime Femicide channel. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for future uploads.
Is that what it is?
Get it lit.
Hey, period. Don't fuck with us, bitch.
Like to
Don't
have
come. We
parties
don't
and
come to
stuff.
play.
Back in August of 2021, before she ever met Joaquin, Breanna posted a quote that seemed sweet at the time, but would later read like tragic foreshadowing. "I love a person I can trust with my eyes closed and my back turned." It was a glimpse into what Howell wanted in a partner: loyalty, safety, peace. So when she met Washington sometime in 2022, she thought maybe, just maybe, she found someone to match that dream. They weren't strangers to the streets. Breanna was beloved for her charisma and confidence. She was funny, social, a bit hot-headed when she had to be, but always the one people wanted around.
Look at him! Look at him, G! He gonna break my motherfucking back! Hold on! Hey!
Watch the TV.
And Washington? He was young, reckless, and all too familiar with county jail. He didn't have much family, guidance, or structure, but he had charm, jokes, and a troubled streak a mile wide. Breanna thought she could help him, fix him, love him back to life. By 2023, Washington was back in jail, this time for stealing a car. But Breanna held him down like a real one. She visited,
Obviously.
she posted about him. She even dropped the infamous Free My Man post, her way of showing the world she was solid. But while she was riding for him on the outside, he was entertaining other women on the inside. Word got back that he was getting visits from multiple women.
Mm.
Even behind bars, he
Yeah.
couldn't keep it faithful. That betrayal hit hard. Breanna, who had been fiercely loyal, found herself humiliated. By the time Washington was preparing for release, they had broken up. She moved on, finding comfort in a new man who actually valued her. Her new relationship was public. He posted her, showed her love, stood beside her. But while she was trying to move forward, Washington was pulling her right back into chaos. They went from lovers to enemies fast. Constant arguing,
Dude.
public jabs, shady posts, heated messages. Despite having a man who actually gave her peace, Breanna was still caught in a storm with her ex. The bond they once had turned toxic and ugly.
You know he was going crazy seeing them goddamn posts of them two together like that. That nigga was losing his mind somewhere. He probably couldn't wait to run seriously so he could act up.
Their history couldn't be ignored, and neither could the fire Washington stoked every time they crossed paths online or in person. By March of 2025, their feud was practically community knowledge. Everyone knew Breanna and Joe Quan were done, but the bad blood remained. What started with a Facebook post in 2021 about trust had evolved into a modern cautionary tale. Breanna wanted to love and be loved safely, but Washington brought a different kind of energy, one that was volatile, jealous, and dangerous. And in a
Nigga was
cruel
still
twist of
bars.
fate, the very man she once prayed
Crash
to
out.
be freed became the one who ended her life. The tension had been simmering for months, maybe longer. Howell and Washington weren't just exes. They were bitter rivals still caught in the wreckage of a relationship that had long since imploded. And on March 19, 2025, all that pent-up animosity finally exploded. They both showed up to the same barbecue at Joe Kwan's brother's place. Mutual friends, mutual enemies, and a whole lot of unresolved hate filled that apartment. Witnesses say the two were seen slapping each other, cursing, and fighting throughout the night. It was obvious to everyone there that the two should have never been in the same space. But no one intervened. At some point during the party, the fight moved inside. Court records later revealed Joe Quan choked Breanna. Witnesses reported seeing the couple arguing on the couch. Then came the shot. One single shot to the chest. Washington allegedly stood over her and said, "Why did you make me do that?" She was left bleeding, lifeless. But
Damn.
instead of calling 911 or attempting to help, Joe Quan and his brother, Christian, hatched a plan. Surveillance footage captured them dragging a heavy object, Breanna's body, out of the apartment just before 2 a.m.
Oh,
They dumped her on the sidewalk and left.
both going to jail.
Calculated, cruel. By 7:26 a.m., police were called to the Willows apartments in Gary. Breanna was found face up on the pavement, dead from a single gunshot wound to the chest. Her body showed signs of strangulation. The coroner ruled it a homicide. Christian
Damn.
later admitted to police that he heard the shot and saw the aftermath. He said his brother was crazy and did dumb things. Yet, he still helped cover it up. That decision got him charged with assisting a criminal.
So this nigga snitched on his brother after he helped him cover it up? What type of shit?
More than a month passed before justice caught up with Joe Quan. Authorities finally tracked him down in Indianapolis on April 22nd. He was arrested and charged with murder and a gun enhancement. If convicted, he faces up to 85 years in prison. The irony? Breanna once begged the world to free my man, and when she did, he killed her. The man
That's
she
crazy.
defended, the man she believed in, the man she loved. Now she's
You wish
gone.
for.
Her family is left grieving. Her friends are left traumatized. And the world is left asking how many more women have to die before we stop excusing these red flags as just love. This wasn't love. This was a ticking time bomb, and no one stopped the countdown. The story of Breanna Howell didn't end with a gunshot, it ended with silence. Silence from the man she once loved, and silence from a society that treats violence against black women like background noise. After Howell was found lifeless on the pavement outside the Willows apartments in Gary, Indiana, her family was thrust into a nightmare. The last person to see her alive was Joe Quan, and he vanished. He cut off contact. He ignored calls. He scrubbed his social media of anything that tied him to Breanna, as if erasing digital footprints could wipe away the blood on his hands. Howell's sister, Maanha Prince, became the family's voice amid the grief. She shared that Breanna's face was bruised, her lip busted, and her body showed clear signs of abuse before the fatal gunshots, one to the chest, one to the back. These weren't just wounds, they were
What?
evidence. Still,
Hold up. One to the chest and one to the back? What the hell really happened here?
the Gary Police Department dragged its feet, withholding an official cause of death, leaving the family in limbo. Meanwhile, the man they all believed responsible hadn't been charged, hadn't even been publicly named as a suspect. So the family did what so many families of murdered black women are forced to do. They became their own investigators, their own media team, their own advocates. They made public pleas, urging anyone, friends, witnesses, neighbors, to speak up. Even a whisper of truth could help them piece together what happened during Breanna's final hours. And yet, silence lingered. This was more than a personal loss. Breanna's murder rattled the entire community. In a place like Gary, where survival is often a team sport, people don't just shrug off tragedy, they demand answers. The Willows apartments, once just another address, became a crime scene that sparked a deeper conversation about justice, safety, and how quickly lives can be stolen when systems fail to act. Breanna's story, painful as it is, has become a rallying cry. Her family is not just grieving, they are organizing. They're making sure her name doesn't fade into the endless scroll of tragedy. They remind the world that Breanna was more than a statistic. She was a daughter, a sister, a friend, a woman with dreams, jokes, a big laugh, and even bigger love. Now, those who loved her the most are left clinging to one thing: justice. They want the truth. They want accountability. They want to know why a woman who once stood by her man ended up on a sidewalk alone. And most of all, they want her life to mean something bigger than the way it ended. Rest in power, Breanna Howell. May your story shake the silence. May you never be forgotten.
Hey man, jump in the comments, man. That's a crazy one right there. Damn. That's wild. Damn, hey, that's that shit, man. You gotta be careful, you know what I'm saying, what you wish for, because you never know how other people is and how they react to certain situations, man. Awareness is real. You know what I'm saying? You're dealing with somebody and they putting their hands on you, don't deal with that shit. Never okay. Never okay. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Shit.